Sambadan Dumlang, hello, it's Simply Sfiso and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another video where we talk about the Netflix series The Boyfriend. So if you happen to stumble upon this video, I do recommend you check out the previous two videos I released where I go down into, the first 6 episodes, because today we're going into episode 7 and 8. And without wasting any time, because there's a lot of to unpack, let's get into it. But before we do, please do remember to like, share, subscribe, and when we get to the end, leave a comment down below. So without further ado, let us get into it. So just to give you guys a quick recap, so previously we had said goodbye to Usak, which was a very tearful and emotional event for everyone, myself included. And we were then introduced to Ikkyo, who seemed to be someone who was going to potentially bring drama, potentially cause some tension and strife, because him and Dai were seeming to be quite chummy, quite close, if you get what I'm saying. And Dai and Shun were in a very weird place, because Shun had said, let's be friends, but like, it seems like he wants to be more. Also, let's not forget about Kazuto having everyone and their cousin confessing to him, literally.
And I work like a dog day and night, living off of coffee from a pot none of you want to touch.
Literally everyone and their cousin was confessing to him. Literally everyone, half the house is like in love with him, it seems. But yeah, that's where we left off. And so now episode 7, let's just get into it. So Shun and Dai had a conversation after the picnic where Dai admitted that he had ignored Shun, and Shun, felt some type of way. Shun though was like, nah, you say one thing, you mean another thing, like your actions and your words are not matching up. And so Dai was like, oh, this kind of made Dai excited. It's like, okay, so clearly Shun wants to be more than friends. And Dai also reveals that, although him and Ikkyo were like vibing, it kind of, it upset him to see Shun seeming kind of depressed, and it's just kind of like, yes, I'm glad I was wrong about Ikkyo potentially bringing drama between Shun and Dai. In a way, I think Ikkyo's presence helped fast track to realize, what's going on between the two. So then the next day there was a go-karting where the winner had a chance to earn a wish, which was, it was fun, it was cute. Shun ended up winning, and Shun was like, I don't have a wish. like Shun really just plays the game in his own way. Like even when he first arrived, right, he didn't write later because like there's no one that's his type. Like he he does what he's gonna do, and there's nothing you can do about that. And I think I kind of appreciate it. I feel like any other show, the producers would have maybe forced Shun to make a wish, forced Shun to come up with something, but Shun's like, nah, I won. He was pretty happy about it when he had this really cute smile. Like Shun should smile more. He's so cute when he smiles. But that's neither here nor there. So Ikkyo is the new member that we were introduced to, and now he has a chance to pick a leader. To pick his partner as he's the leader. And for the first time ever, they can have 2 people. Like they can pick 2 additional members. So instead of just being 2 people working the truck, now it can be 3. So Alan, Tae, and Kazuto raised their hands saying they'd like to join him, and Ikkyo picked Kazuto only because he had expressed the previous night that he has interest in him.
Heaven, Kazuto, Angela, like before you went on this show, did you use some kind of love potion? Because why is everyone just magnetized? Like in your elite area, like you're magnetic. Everyone is just
And Alan was asked, now why did you raise your hand? It was like, because Kazuto raised his hand. Like, Alan is, like, I feel bad for hating on Alan in my first video. Like, shame, poor guy, he's so sweet. But Kazuto, rightfully, I can imagine, because everyone and their cousin is liking Kazuto. Kazuto asked Ikkyo, like, what do you like about me? Like, we don't know each other. And so them working together is an opportunity for them to sort of get to know each other, get to see the vibes. And they seem, to be getting along pretty well, and even Kazuto does say that, working together, like your vibe, like I'm actually feel like, okay, we can actually connect because you're not the same as, like, initially, Ikkyo seemed loud and he was like, you're just this new loud younger member, probably not gonna get along. But when we're alone, actually there's potential. And he even notes that he'd like to potentially work again. So the next day when Kazuto was the team leader and his turn to choose someone, he picks Alan and Gensei, which leaves Ikkyo frustrated, which, I think I'd also be like, okay, you said you'd like to work again, but then you get a chance to choose someone and you don't pick me. What's that all about, And even the panel were like, okay, when he picked Alan and Gensei, it's like clearly Gensei is low-key there as like a buffer. It's kind of like, because if it was just Katsudo and Alan, obviously Alan was probably gonna try to shoot his shots again or something like that. So Katsudo was like, you know what, I have a buff. And even Gensei actually said he raised his hand because he's never actually had a chance to work with Kazuto, and he thought this might be the last chance. And speaking of Kazuto and the truck, Kazuto is working in that truck damn near every single day. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened, y'all. So, despite not going on any dates or running the coffee truck recently, Dai and Shun seem to be clearing their misunderstandings. They get a lot more closer. They seem to be hugging, showing affection to her. Like, Shun isn't pushing Dai away as he was in the previous episodes. Actually seems to be allowing Dai to embrace him, like asking for massages. I mean, like, that's too soft. Like, things are moving forward. There's progress, and we love to see it. So by the end of episode 7, Dai was leading the coffee truck business and was expecting Shun to raise his hand as a volunteer, but Shun did not raise his hand because before that they were trying to decide, okay, how are we going? They were planning a night, like to say, okay, let's have a night of drinking and all of that. But like some people like Enzo's feeling like, you know what, he doesn't think that drinking will be a good idea for them to open up. And it was just, I can understand how for Shun was like, this conversation's going nowhere. So he was frustrated. But when I was watching the episode, I was like, Shun, what are you doing? Like, episode 7 was honestly a roller coaster of emotions, but that was just like a quick recap of what happened. Girl, Kazuto is speaking, he is preaching. It's like, so you've seen superficial parts, you want to get to know me? Is that the tease that was happening? Like, episode 7 has me gagged, gooped. Okay, Dai, I see you. We see each other. I see you, Dai. Continue this activity. I foresee danger. Oh. And now on to episode 8. So episode 7 ended off with Shun not raising his hand. So then Dai ended up choosing to work with Ikkyo, right? And then, Dai shares his frustration with Shun. Dai shares that, even though Shun does feel very secure in our relationship, I do wish he doesn't take me for granted. And even the panel of hosts do also note that, it seems like Dai is making all these efforts to understand Shun, to be accommodating to Shun, but like, they need to meet each other halfway. And I can agree, like as much as in things, I can see myself in Shun so much. And I love that even in this episode, Shun also seems to sort of have self-awareness. I'm troublesome, I'm problematic. I think it's one of the first times where actually we see Shun step out of, I guess you could say, his comfort zone and actually put himself in Dai's shoes. I think this shows that their feelings for each other are really going really strong, because he's stressed. He's like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Like, he is like, I didn't want to go to work today, but like, what if Dai takes it the other way? And he even sends a text apologizing. And Dai, when he gets the text, at first he's like, no, I was gonna forgive him, but then like Shun sent this cute picture of frogs, and it's like I think we can say that clearly their relationship has really gotten really deep. Like, they really like, I'm trying to find the words. Like, I'm thinking like the bonds are forming. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. So when they come back from work, Shun again tells Dai what he said in person, and is like, I'm really sorry. Okay, actually, he doesn't apologize at first, right? He's just like, I couldn't work because I just felt really frustrated. I didn't want to go to work today, right? And you can still see with the tension is still tensioning. So Shun is speaking to Taehyun, and Taehyun actually gives really good advice, because Taehyun's like, even if you guys were dating, if you don't want to go to work, that's fine, right? And this way I can relate to Shun, because Shun's probably like, you know what, I'm not sorry that I didn't go to work, but I am sorry that, you know, his feelings got hurt. And I think, excuse me, Taeyeon helped him find a way to truly articulate that in a way that is very sincere and genuine. And yo, the look on Dai's face when he got that apology, Dai was so happy. Like that smile, Dai was so happy to get an apology from Shun, and it was really sincere, and we love to see it. So that evening, all the members, they sit down, they're real heart to heart on coming out. You know, Taeyeon talks about his, you know, upbringing, how he's not really close with his family, and so he hasn't come out to his parents. So I'm guessing, I mean, now the show is out, I'm sure they know by now, but you know, he's wondering like, how can you have a conversation? Like Roto, he mentioned that, you know, he came out just before he went on the show because he wanted his, you know, for his parents not to get a surprise, to hear it from him. And, you know, for him, his parents were very supportive. Or like, you know what, if you find someone on the show, bring him to us, let's meet him. And then Kazuto, he talks about it, and even though he has mentioned, you know, in early episodes, there was hints that, you know, there was some issues with regards to his sexuality. I mean, first coming out to himself, and then now he talks about, you know, when he came out to his parents, his mother was sad, and that made him sad, you know. And you know, one of the panels, one of the host says that, you know, we can't, without knowing the full context, we don't necessarily know why his mom was sad. Like, obviously, they immediately, your first thought is, oh, so she was sad that he's gay or whatever. But also, I think for many parents, there is also the real concern for your child's safety and well-being, because as much as there has been improvements in the world, in society, there's still a lot of bigoted people out there. There's still a lot of discrimination and hate and real threat and danger to people's lives, you know, just for being queer, just for being who they are, just for simply existing. So, you know, I really love that perspective that they brought in, that, you know, that's, you know, I think a lot of times, sometimes, you know, on one hand, right, there is the conversation to be had about, you know, if your homophobic parents won't accept you, just cut them off, let them go. But I think there also is an element of, you know, you need to meet them where you are. And also, I mean, these are your parents, you know, you're not just going to cut your parents off just like that. And I also really appreciated Alan and Dai's thoughts, you know, that, you know, as much as, you know, initially, you know, we're growing up, we learn a lot from our parents, but, you know, also our parents have a lot that they can learn from us, and our parents, and it's like, you know, at the same time, you know, as much as, you know, we want your parents' approval, you want your parents' love and support, if you don't get it, sometimes you just gotta step back. So that evening, right, Kazuto has a conversation with Ikkyo, and he lets him down. He basically says, look, there's like two different people here. There's the version of you when you're with everyone else, and the version when you're alone with me. And I don't think this is gonna work. I think I'm not the one for you. Which, you know, obviously Ikkyo was sad. I mean, he just got rejected, you know. But I appreciated, just Kazuto was very straightforward. He was like down to business. He wasn't being about the bush. He was like, look, you and me, it just ain't gonna work. And so Ryoto also finally has a conversation with Kazuto, and Kazuto's like, look, I really appreciate you as a person. I think you're a really great friend. I don't want to ruin that, and I think I have been creating distance, because I think also that thing of, you know, if you also, like I mentioned in the previous video, that, you know, rejecting someone is not nice. You know, you gonna hurt their feelings, and sometimes it's easier to just avoid the person instead of having the conversation. But I'm really glad that Kazuto finally, you know, had those conversations and cleared up the air in that front. So now we are told that there are going to be a final date, and we know the drill by now. People write names, you need to match to get on a date, and so Shin and Dai are the first match, as expected. Kazuto and Alan are the second match, which was, I was happy about that. But to our surprise, there was a third match for the first time. And everybody, like, I remember being like, who? And it was Ryota and Gensei. Like, finally, I feel like Gensei has really been like lagging behind, because I mean, first Ryota liked Shun, then Ryota liked Kazuto, and, you know, I mean, I wouldn't have expected Ryota to move on so quickly, but I'm glad he did. And I think he also realized how Gensei feels about him. And so those were our matches. Those are the three people who managed to go on dates. So obviously the most anticipated match at this point is Shun and Dai, and on their second date they really open up, and I think you can tell that this is the point where it's like, okay, this is going into like a serious relationship, because they're talking about family, they're talking about marriage, and you can say they really, the bonds are bonding. that's gonna be the phrase for this for this for this video. So yeah, so Dai and Shun, and while on their date, Alan and Kazuto talk, and Kazuto does mention, you know what, when we went on our first date, things moved a little too quick for me, right? But I think having that chance where they step back, Kazuto was like, you know what, you are the person I'm most comfortable with. And I think Alan also, I appreciate that also Alan also changed his approach. I think he realized that, you know what, okay, being forward is not the way to go here. And he decided to match Kazuto's pace in terms of, how he courts him and approaches him, and power to him for not giving up. Personally, if someone said, let's just be friends, I'd be like, okay, cool, let's be friends. and I'd leave it like that. Like, that's just me. Like, power to Alan for not giving up, and hopefully things can develop for the two. Ryota and Gensei have their date. They make like glass making thing. Yeah, and then after that they go back home to the green room, and then they have dinner together, and then also they talk, and Gensei asks, like, was it difficult for you to like sort out? I was like, actually no, it wasn't difficult. I think, Gensei's slow but steady approach has been working. Slow and steady seems to be winning the race. And so the final, the climax, the peak, the moment everyone has been waiting for, right? So Dai and Shun, right, they're in their bedroom, initially on separate beds. Shun's like, Dai, let me scoot over, let me join you. And oh, the tension in that scene. I think even the fact that there was like no music, like, oh, I feel like I could cut the tension with a knife. And like, even like they didn't over edit it, like they just like, we were basically seeing it almost in like real time. And oh, when Shun went for that kiss, oh, so many thoughts, no words. Oh! Oh, I can't breathe. The episode ended just like that. Oh, I can't breathe. I don't even have asthma, but I need an asthma pump or something. I'm gonna have a nebulizer, something, because it's like you could tell that kiss, it had like all the emotions, everything that's been building up to this point. Like, this is the moment. I'm thinking back to when Shun said, I won't know how I feel about you until we kiss. But at that point, Shun was like, a kiss is just going to confuse things. I feel like now this is like confirming that, you know what, we're in this, we're doing this. And I appreciate it. Like, you could tell that because Dai was like holding himself back. Like, he was holding himself back, because I think he was like, Shun should be the one who initiates the kiss. Like, he didn't even ask. He was like, but I think, what a moment. So that is pretty much where we are at right now. My thoughts so far: Dai and Shun, they need to make it. They, like, at this point, like, if they don't make it, who will? Who can? Like, I think their relationship, we've seen them, initially come together, come apart. I feel like the fact that they've also had to sort of deal with like conflict and all of that does, I think like what I'm trying to say, like, like, for example, Love is Blind, right? Often you'll find the couples will say, we've had a great time together. We haven't had any fights. And that worries me, because like, what will happen if we do actually have a fight? Like, how will we manage that? But I feel like they've been able to sort of deal with that. And I feel like they have a really good understanding and like compassion for each other, I also did like when they had the conversation, they were like, you know, you could tell that they actually trying to think beyond the show. Because like, okay, right now we're seeing each other every day. How are things gonna work when we don't see each other every day? And I hope things work out for them. Alan and Kazuto, listen. Although I know last video I was team Usak and Kazuto, I'll allow it. Alan and Kazuto, I'll allow it. Though I saw on like social media, people are pulling up like different pictures from Usak and Kazuto saying that they stay their end game, whatever. Like things, I won't be mad at that too. Like I just want Kazuto to be happy, right? I like whether it's with Alan or Usak. Although at this point, based on what we have from the show, never mind fan theories, Alan and Kazuto seem to be on, you know, a path, seem to be going somewhere. And then Rota and Gensei, I'm not really sure at this point if, you know, will they act. I think it's the first time Rota's probably even entertaining the idea of dating Gensei. So I think we still have 2 episodes there, so we can still see, you know, whether or not will they get to the point of actually dating, or, you know, will they just remain friends, which it be like that sometimes. Ikkyo, I don't know what's gonna happen with him. I mean, now that, you know, Kazu rejects him, like, is he just gonna give up on love, or is he gonna perhaps try to pursue someone else? And Taehyun, like, why is this fine, smart, kind, thoughtful man not being pursued? Like, why? Like, why? Like, there has to be someone for him. Like, Taehyun, like. Anyways, that brings us to the end of this video. Like, I'm actually kind of sad making this video because I know it's like we're approaching the end of this journey with the boyfriend. Like, literally we just have 2 more episodes left and it's done. But let me not get ahead of myself. Let us focus on now. Dai and Shun kissed Alan and Kazuto, making progress. Gensei finally got to go on a date with Ryota, and Ikkyo and Taehyun are just there. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please do give it a thumbs up and feel free to leave a comment down below. So yeah, thank you so much once again. Until you see me or hear from me in the next one, I love you so much. Bye.
One by one, Kazuto is clearing the roster. He's like, it's a no from me. It's a no from me. And like, he's so, I don't say matter of fact, but he's just saying it like it is. He's like, Lalel, I'm not feeling you that way. We can be friends though, but like, so who will he choose in the end? Girl. Should I leave? Am I interrupting some?